Talk about this 6'11" big man, Greg Monroe, out of Georgetown. He's got some offensive skills, doesn't he?
Yes, for a big man, I like him. He has great handle. You know, he's really not going to overpower defenders or elevate above them, so him being a crafty player like he is going to serve him very well, Ernie.
You know what they call him, don't you?
What?
Moose.
No,
that sounds more like a cow or a bull. He's a moose.
Oh.
What sound do they make? Didn't know that. Here's Kevin Harlan.
And now introducing your Detroit Pistons. Starting at shooting guard, standing 6'5", number 5, Contagious Hope. From Oak Hill Academy in Virginia, this guard stands 6'1", the Pistons 7, Brandon Jennings. From Georgetown, the 6'11" forward, say hello again to Piston 10, Greg the Goose Monroe. From Oak Hill Academy in Virginia, this forward stands 6'9" with a power lift. Meet Piston 6, Josh Smith. Numero 0, the center at 6'11" out of UConn. Having big fun around the rim, this is Andre Drummond. Stan Van Gundy is your head coach.
It's Memphis facing Detroit. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, to this broadcast of NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan, and with me today, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. So Detroit will get the first possession. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Zebo and Marc Gasol are up front. Conley and Lee, they're the backcourt. And it's Prince in at the 3, the small forward. Smith, no good.
Well, Marc Gasol missed some time last season with injury, but you can see just how important he is to a team when he's gone. I mean, the Grizzlies were nowhere near as imposing when he was sidelined by injury.
Off target with the jump hook. Grizzlies on defense. Outside Jennings. Free throw line jump shot. Gasol with the rebound.
And for Marc Gasol, last season a grade 2 MCL sprain. No surgery required, but he did miss 20 games while recovering, and Memphis struggled during his absence.
And that'll be Memphis as it goes out of bounds. Grizzlies retain possession.
Yeah, so close to picking that pass off, guys.
At least he got a hand on it. He did what he needed to do to make sure it didn't hit the target.
About a minute played so far here in the first. 6 to shoot. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And last season for Marc Gasol, a bit of a downturn with his numbers.
Yeah, his rebounding fell off a bit, as did his shooting percentages. We'll see how he bounces back this season.
Zach Randolph is a terrific rebounder and scorer. In his prime, you could just mark up 20 points and 12 rebounds a night, every night. He's a little bit on the downside now, but still a player you've got a game plan for.
And Randolph, now 33 years old, had that knee injury a couple seasons back.
Yeah, his rebounding remains excellent, but you know, we've seen his scoring wane just a bit, both in volume and the percentages. Not quite the go-to scorer he was a few years back, but still very effective player.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2.
Well, Zach Randolph enjoying the best years of his career and most sustained success in Memphis. A tricky choice for him this offseason, deciding whether to opt out of the final year of his contract or to become a free agent.
Now here's Conley. Josh Smith unable to get his shot to go. A nice shot by Gasol.
You can't give him that shot. I mean, a few open looks are all it takes, and he can really get rolling.
For Detroit, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Jennings with the ball. He kicks it to Caldwell Pope. It's back to Jennings. From beyond the arc, Smith gets it to go on the assist by Jennings. Smith's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. And Memphis opting to re-sign Zach Randolph, Clark, this offseason. Nice to see him back in a Grizzlies uniform.
Yeah, I agree with you there, partner. It seems like he and that city are a terrific match. Grit and grind, Zebo doing his work on the glass and from the low block either side. And that duo of him and Gasol, that's one of the more entertaining big man pairs in the league.
Formidable, you're right.
Yep.
Here's Monroe after the made shot from Zach Randolph. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. Caldwell Pope's got his first basket.
They'll take as many of those looks as they can get.
The Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Conley kicks to Gasol. Outside Randolph. To the middle. Prince dishes to Randolph. And the Grizzlies tack on 2 more.
The turnaround jumper, that was a thing of beauty.
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Monroe with a screen on Conley. Jennings passes to Monroe. Dishes it to Drummond. A lot of questions about what exactly is the best fit for Drummond on the floor. And Steve, I mean that both in what position he plays and who he pairs up with inside.
I think that's the key, Kevin. It's really who he's paired up with. You know, last year's Pistons team just didn't have enough floor spacing, so the paint was clogged. But if you get Drummond with some shooting, particularly a stretch 4, to really open up the court for him, man, that's scary.
He's off on the first. He's off on the second. For Memphis, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Conley kicks to Gasol. It's Prince on the wing. Puts it up from 12 and misses it off the right side of the rim.
And with Drummond, I think he has such versatility and is really an amazingly consistent player in how he plays. I think he could tandem and partner up with any other big guy and be effective. Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Here's Conley. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Passes it to Gasol. Left side, Randolph. And he overshot that one, missing.
And guys, it's easy to look good playing alongside someone like Drummond, who has athleticism that is matched by very few in the league. Maybe unparalleled for others at his position. Makes the coach's job a lot easier.
Now here is Conley, following the miss by Jennings. Conley kicks to Lee. Pass to Gasol. Shot from the low block, and that one's good. And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Your Rebco's checked in for Andre Drummond. Butler comes in for Smith. Jody Meeks, he's checked in for Caldwell Pope. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Brandon Jennings. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Kufis checked in for Gasol. Carter comes in for Tayshaun Prince. Tony Allen's checked in for Courtney Lee. And it's Nick Calathes in for Mike Conley. And Butler, here we go. That's good. 1:16 left to play here in the first.
You know, Memphis had a good road record overall, kept it above 500 despite a really sluggish start to the season and then losing Marc Gasol for a while due to a knee injury.
And it's Carter missing.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Yeah, they're lucky that they didn't get burned on that one.
Outside Butler. Floats one up, and that one's good. As you said with Memphis, guys, they ended with 23 road wins last year. That's a great mark for any team.
You know, their game translates well to the road as they like to pound it inside. That kind of game travels well because, you know, you can control the tempo of the game as the more physical, dominant team.
Here's Calathes after Caron Butler's bucket. The drive by Allen. And he gets it to go. Allen's got his first basket.
You know, typically he's just a role player, but when he does score, it allows the offense to be more balanced.
And here's Augustine. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Outside Butler from outside the arc. Zach Randolph with the rebound. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. Good. That's Calathes who picks up the assist. Carter's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Grizzlies lead by 3. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. What stands out to you from the Grizzlies in this one?
And a good start for this club. I like the way they played together, really moved the ball and did a nice job offensively.
Yeah, excellent ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard, too.
Take a second. Matter of fact, you should take forward and everything will stay for you. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get it, park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. Park it like it's hot. Get an attitude. Pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. Pop it like it's hot. I got the money on my arm and I'm going. I love the best because I got it going.
Memphis leading by 3. We've got Jody Meeks. Andre Drummond is out there with Jerebko. And it's Caron Butler. And it's Augustine in at the 1. That's the group for Detroit right now.
That's pretty much been the norm for them. Getting their points off assists and great ball movement.
Nice rhythm and flow for this team. Tremendous communication and alertness.
Nick Calathes taking over the backup point guard spot in Memphis around the start of 2014 after the Jared Bayless trade. And he quickly rewarded their confidence as the Western Conference Rookie of the Month in February.
Here's Meeks. Just 3 to shoot. Good on that shot. And with that, the Memphis lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Jerebko.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
And so it's Memphis with it. Here's Koufos. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And Calathes, Clark, not an immediate fan favorite in Memphis, checking into a game back in December. He was immediately booed by the fans.
You know, at that time the team was struggling. The fans had gotten frustrated, but he silenced his critics in the best way by proving them wrong with a good performance.
Butler dishes to Jerebko. And stolen by Prince. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Calathes passes to Carter. Prince against Augustine. Prince kicks to Carter. Off the pick. Connects. The jumper drops. Carter's got 5 now.
Solid screen right there that freed him up for the jump shot.
Meeks dishes to Drummond. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. And Meeks kicks to Drummond.
Talk about putting something extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, startling that he'd even try that right now.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis.
Jody Meeks, a 6'4" shooting specialist. A starter last season with the Lakers. He had his best year of his career. Very effective in what became a larger role for him offensively with L.A.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Josh Smith, he's checked in for Urebko. Martin comes in for Butler. Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Meeks. And it's Jennings in for Augustine. Now here's Gasol. Allen outside. Feeds to Lee. Right side, Lee. Rebound, Detroit. And Meeks with his best season last year, but still probably best suited to a reserve role.
Yeah, I think that's the case. He can shoot it. He competes at the defensive end. He's smart. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's not going to give you rebounding and playmaking, but what he gives you is pretty good. Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Now here's Conley. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Gasol setting the pick for Prince. Courtney Lee is on the wing. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The Grizzlies last season acquiring Courtney Lee. Clark in a trade with the Celtics.
They were in a bit of a catch-22 type situation. They had athletic wing defenders and long-range shooters, but they didn't have a lot of players who could do both. So they got Courtney Lee, and he's played big minutes for him because he can do both.
The first one falls.
And Courtney Lee acquired in exchange for Jared Bayless. He started as mostly a corner three-point shooter, but he's expanded his range and now can shoot from pretty much anywhere along the arc.
Adams, he's checked in for Memphis. That misses, so he splits the free throws.
And you talk about Courtney Lee's shooting. Come on now. Excellent numbers last season from the field, the arc, and the free throw line. Arguably his best season yet overall.
For Memphis, they've gone 2 of 5 from the field here in the second quarter, shooting 40%. Conley, the pass to Adams, stolen by Martin. It's hauled in by Adams. Grizzlies shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there. A good chance here. That one goes. Count it. Gasol's got 6 points.
Tough assignment for that defender with the size mismatch we're seeing.
Yeah, I just don't think he's big enough to handle it.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
It's a little strange to think of Detroit as being a team that runs, but they actually were better when they did run last year. They made good on a lot of opportunities in transition.
Monroe's checked in for Detroit. Zach Randolph is checked in for Memphis. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Yes, guys, over that last break, I listened to Dave Yeager address his team. He wants to see renewed effort from them on the offensive glass. He talked about the second chance points that are out there if they work for them. The second thing he got into with them regarded getting the ball into the post, saying, quote, the passing lanes will be open for us. We have to use that to our advantage and get the ball inside. Maybe making those early adjustments will give them time to judge their effectiveness by halftime. We'll soon find out, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. As you said, guys, you think of basketball in the Motor City, you think of a very deliberate game and Steve Tough D.
It had been the identity of basketball in this city for a long time, Kevin, but last year the Pistons were a top 5 team in fast break scoring. So, when they run, they're at their best. So the city might be entering a new era in terms of the style of play.
Here's Jennings, following the basket by Marc Gasol. Jennings with the ball. Conley picks him up. Jennings dishes to Caldwell Pope. Shot's good. Jennings making the play. Caldwell Pope's got 5.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
And it's Conley penetrating. And there's the feed to Randolph. No good. Excellent defense there from Smith. The Pistons have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. Smith sets the pick for Jennings. And the pass to Caldwell Pope. And that misses. That would have put him up. Grizzlies have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. And it's Lee penetrating. 35 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Randolph. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Randolph's got 7. We've got 28 seconds left in the first half of the game. Pass to Martin. 17 seconds left to play in the first half. 6 to shoot. Caldwell Pope kicks to Martin. And it's all evened up. Martin's got himself on the board with 3 there. Outside Conley. He caught it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. Tie game in Detroit. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Karan, what do you take away from the first half of play as to what the team needs to do when you guys come out to start the second half?
You got to come out with a lot of energy and just keep everybody involved, mentally on the court. Everybody be prepared to go out there and fulfill their role and, win the ball game, whatever it takes.
Karan, thanks for the time. Guys, back to you.
Thank you for the great interview, Doris. We'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime. Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half.
Good game for Gasol. He's got 8 points, and he's getting it done on the glass, too.
Now, you're right, Clark. He's done some really nice work inside.
And for Memphis, their shooting certainly a key for them in this one. 55% from the field. Well, good teams tend to have a defined style of play. Steve, the Grizzlies had grit and grind, but it seems they're going away from it now.
Kind of a throwback style, Kevin, but it suited their personnel perfectly, particularly with Randolph and Gasol down low. The slower pace lent itself to better defense for them, and they really pounded you inside, that's for sure.
Getting underway here in the second half. Here's the 5 for Dave Yeager. Prince is the 3 and Randolph the 4. Conley and Lee, they're the backcourt. And it's Gasol at the center. Just 5 to shoot. A baseline J. Here's Monroe. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the basket. Monroe's got it all tied up now for the Pistons.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
Outside Conley. The dish to Gasol. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
And the Grizzlies got swept in the Western Conference Finals back in 2013 because the Spurs just packed it in defensively. And I really think that was the impetus for the Grizzlies looking to try to play a more wide open style. Even though that season in 2013 was, as a whole, the best ever for the franchise, it did expose their weaknesses and gave them something to work on.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, Memphis coach Dave Yeager paid dues for years coaching in the minor leagues. But he did more than coach. He was the GM, ticket vendor, business manager, and halftime act. He said he loved the passion and spirit of that work, but there were also tough times. Guys, those struggles helped prepare him for where he is today.
A long road, but he's here now. Thanks, Doris. Made that one on the move. Tough shot. And 11 points for Zach Randolph.
And last season, it took the Grizzlies some time to get going. New head coach, the injury to Marcus Saul, but they added some shooting and athleticism on the wings and really rallied strongly towards the end of the year.
And it's Drummond missing. The Grizzlies have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Conley, the pass to Randolph. Back to Conley. Lee outside. Kicks to Conley. He feeds it to Randolph. It's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got 4 assists in the game.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
Mike Conley, a lightning-quick lefty, has never been an all-star, but certainly in the conversation as a two-way player who's been a cornerstone for the Memphis Grizzlies.
For the Pistons, Butler, he's checked in for Smith. Augustine comes in for Caldwell Pope, and it's Bynum in for Brandon Jennings. Memphis also making some changes. Kufis checked in for Gasol, and Allen subbed in for Lee. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Yes, guys, over that last break, I listened to Dave Yeager address his team. He told them they should be dedicating themselves to hitting the offensive glass with everything they've got from now on, even if that means it takes them away from defensive transition. The second thing he got into with them regarded getting the ball into the post, saying, quote, "The passing lanes will be open for us. We have to use that to our advantage and get the ball inside." Perhaps the rest of the second half will look different after those adjustments, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris.
Great job. Take it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left them no choice but to foul there.
And for Conley, drafted 4th overall after 1 season at Ohio State. He's gotten better and better, Clark, with each passing season in the NBA.
And that's testament to his work ethic and his approach to getting better. Last season was his best yet, up to scoring while maintaining his efficiency, and I think he continues to have much better basketball ahead of him.
Your Rebco's checked in for Greg Monroe. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Carter's checked in. Good on the second free throw.
One of the problems for the Pistons last year was they seemed to collapse late in games. They just found a lot of opportunities that went awry due to poor performances in the fourth quarter.
Now here is Conley after the miss from Andre Drummond. Conley kicks to Allen. He dishes it to Randolph. Passes it to Kufis. Outside Conley. Randolph a screen. Shoots off the screen. They get it back. That's good. Kufis has got the lead up to 5 now for the Grizzlies.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the result you get right there.
To talk about the Pistons letting games go late, they were one of the worst teams in the fourth quarter in both defense and scoring.
Stolen by Michael Conley. And the layup is good. Now it's a 7-point Grizzly lead.
And you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. Thinking again about Detroit, Clark, it would have been fatigue or just careless basketball that did him in late, but they really did just run out of steam, it seemed like, every game.
Well, it shows that you can play well for 3 quarters, even great at times for 3 quarters, 36, 38, 40 minutes, but you and I always talk about it's a 48-minute game, and you've got to run through the finish line, not to it.
It's tipped. Bynum dishes to Drummond. 6 on the shot clock. Butler attacking to end the run. Shot is no good. Good work defensively by Carter. And now here comes Conley leading the break. Bynum up top, over by Conley. Here's Jerebko. Back to Bynum. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. And out of bounds as Memphis gains possession. Singler, he's checked in for Detroit. Jody Meeks comes in for Will Bynum. And the Grizzlies also with the sub. Nick Calathis, he's checked in for Mike Conley. 1:25 left in the third quarter. Here's Calathis, guarded by Augustine. Here's Kufis. And again, Memphis no good.
He's one guy the defense is not afraid to leave open from that range, and for obvious reasons.
Now here is Augustine. Defense right on him. Again, the miss by the Pistons. Here are the Grizzlies with the ball. Right now, they're on a 9-0 run. Carter outside. Back to Allen. Expanding his range. That one falls, coming off Carter's feet. 6 points for Allen.
They can't afford to give him that kind of look.
Well, it came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to fight over the top of that.
Now here is Augustine. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Singler. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Here's Calathis. Over to the left wing. Fires the three. And no good trying to get that one. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Grizzlies out in front. They finish off the third quarter on a 14-4 run. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
Well, today it comes from one of the men in the middle. Kevin, let me tell you, anytime you get a big man who can pass like this, it really changes the way you can play offense, diversifies your offensive attack.
Let me ask you, who is the best passing big man you played with?
Luke Longley.
Ah, the Australian.
Yes, big redhead, good passer down on the low block.
The number 1 pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Pistons trail by 10. Jennings out there with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then there's Monroe. Then it's Smith, and it's Singler in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Detroit right now. That shot by Caldwell-Pope, no good. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Grizzlies.
You know, every time they've worked the ball into the post, it seems like something good has happened.
You know, something else I've noticed is just how many of their baskets have been set up by
Greg Monroe, 6'11", 250, the ability to play the 4 or the 5 spot, and his combination of size and skill makes him very coveted around the league.
Michael Conley, he's checked in for Nick Calathis. And he sinks the second. And Monroe, very left-hand dominant, much better scoring from that side of the floor.
Yeah, and while being a lefty does throw defenders off, I think developing his right hand is something that will help him even get better as he moves forward.
Now here's Gasol. Prince trying to free himself up. Gasol no good. Monroe up top. A floater, and the shot is good.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
And the Grizzlies leading by 7. Dishes to Gasol. Gasol with another miss.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Now here's Jennings. He kicks it to Smith. Grizzlies shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Outside Conley, pass to Gasol, inside, and Carter with the basket on the assist by Gasol. And that's now 7 points for Vince Carter.
Man, a gaping hole in the defense that time, and he didn't waste any time getting through it.
The drive by Jennings, and he gets it to go.
What a play, the hoop plus the harm.
Excellent concentration on the finish. That's big time.
First personal foul, team second.
Andre Drummond's checked in for Singler. And Memphis also making a switch. Randolph has checked in.
Brandon Jennings so quick, a left-handed speed demon. You know, as quick as he is off the bounce, he's not as good of a finisher inside as you might expect. I think sometimes he makes those shots a little more difficult than they need to be.
Now here's Randolph. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there, and he lays it straight in.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, a great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
Here's Smith following the basket by Marc Gasol. And the shot is good. 7 points for Smith. And the Grizzlies leading by 7. Outside Conley. Turnaround Jay. That one off the back iron and out.
Poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be.
It's Jennings with the drive. Monroe left side. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Feeds to Caldwell Pope. Clock at 6. And Drummond kicks to Smith. That 3 off the mark. For Memphis, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Conley kicks to Lee. Here's Randolph. No luck. And Detroit the other way now.
He thought he could knock that one down, but the defense was really all over him.
The feed to Caldwell Pope. Monroe down low. Defended by Gasol. Monroe, no good. Outside Conley. Floats one. Good on the shot. And the Grizzlies lead by 9. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Looks like he saw some things out there that needed adjusting and wants to talk it over a little bit with his club.
I don't think you can ever go wrong burning a timeout if you see something you don't like and you need to talk about it.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
In the break, guys, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He was not happy with their play to this point, telling them we're getting out hustled, plain and simple. There's still time, but we've got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Now here's Jennings. Fires the 3. That's good. Jennings has got 5 points in the quarter.
That's just a case of 2 teammates working perfectly together. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Timeout called the Grizzlies. Randolph against Monroe. Here's Prince. Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Jennings passes to Smith. There's the dish to Monroe. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth. Oh, yes, the turnaround. And the Grizzlies leading by 4. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He told his guys that their offense needed to run through Monroe. The coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Gentlemen, some late-game adjustments that could prove crucial in the game's closing moments. Kevin, over to you.
Thanks again, Doris.
Shooting 2, Andre Drummond.
Good on the first, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. And a tough break as his second attempt at the line, no good.
And if he hits all those, they're feeling a lot more comfortable, but they are still within 1 possession.
There's the pass to Randall. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Grizzlies lead by 5.
Defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Giving up these easy chances is going to do wonders for their confidence.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're down by 5. 1:05 left in the 4th quarter. Jennings dishes to Monroe. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
What a game we've seen here for Monroe. He has 9 points, and he's picked up 1 dime.
Shooting for Detroit down on the floor, Greg Monroe. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in.
They really could have used a perfect trip to the line there. Instead, they're still down 2 possessions.
Here's Prince. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Outside Jennings. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Kicks it to Monroe. Bank shot, no good.
Very porous defense down there by the hoop. He probably should make that one.
And an intentional foul right there. He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 7-point game.
Perfectly done at the stripe there, and that brings their lead up to an even more comfortable level. And nothing you can do to salvage this one at this point. Game over.
Not anymore. Any chance they had is gone.
Grizzlies have gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Jennings against Conley. So it's Memphis picking up the win. They pulled off this win, Clark, with respectable performances on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I think it was just really a nice overall effort, Kevin.
And now let's go over to Doris Burke on the sideline for an interview with the Jordan Player of the Game. Doris, take it away.
Well, Mark, congratulations on this win. What was the key to getting the rhythm going for the team's offense?
Sharing the ball, just making the play and just, making each other better. That's always something really good in, man. It gets contagious both sides.
Mark, thank you for the time. Guys, this is a heck of a big man.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Marc Gasol.